kiss for you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to my this video on Android app development using the Kotlin language. So guys, in this video I will teach you how you can use the scope storage and save an image inside your application directory. And so let's get started. So guys, first of all I will show you the demo, and here if I open it, let me show you. So here you guys can see we have a button and an image view. Okay, so if I click on the image view, and so I will pick an image. So after I pick an image, and if I click on the save image, so as you guys can see, image saved in the URI. All right, so again if I open an image, and if I click on that, and if I click on save image, and you guys can see that the images have been saved. So if I go back to my application directory, so here if I go to the internal storage, then inside these pictures, let me see where it is. Okay, so pictures, and then if you guys can see we have this new app folder. So if I click on that, and there you guys can see that we have these images here. All right, so I will be teaching you on how you can use the scoped storage concept in Android for the SDK versions 33 and above. So let's get started. Alright guys, so first of all we will create the main activity file here. So I already have created the file. As you guys can see, I have the code as the image view. I have this as match parent, and I am having the center crop, and then I am using the button, and it has the text as open image. Alright, so this is the image and it has a button. So I will go to my main activity.kotlin file, and in here first of all I will bind the views. So for that I will write private let init variable image view, and similarly for the button. All right, and here now I will bind the view. So for this we can say image view equal to find view by id r dot id dot image view, and then I will use button equal to find view by id r dot id dot button, and then we can say button dot set on click listener, and here we can check if the button dot text dot equals open image, or else if button dot text dot equals pick image. Okay, so now I have this code, and if I click on the open image, so we have to open the gallery so that the user pick up the image. So for that we have to use the intent. All right, and for that let me just show you. All right, so here we can say value intent equal to intent, and inside that we can say intent dot action pick. Then we can say media store dot images dot media dot external content URI, and then we can say start activity for result, but as it has now been duplicated, so we will use the new library for the image activity result. So for that let me just show you how we can achieve that. So here we guys can say private let init variable, and it will be pick image launcher, and it will use activity result launcher, and in here we can pass on the intent here. All right, and for that we have to basically initialize it. And okay, so let me just cut that. Oh sorry, let me just cut that this and write the function init controls. So here we can say private fun init controls, and put that all that code inside here. and then here we can say pick image launcher, and it will be equal to register for activity result, and inside that we can pass activity result contracts dot start activity for result. And the second one, the argument which will be, we have to use the callback for the action result, so we can say object activity result callback activity result. All right, and here we will implement the method on activity result. All right, so before going forward, let me just increase the font size. All right, so inside this on activity result, so here we can check if result code, if result dot result code, and it is equal to result okay, then we can start working on it. Okay, so after this, okay, so here I am having some issues here, let me just remove. Okay, so all other codes have been removed. Okay, now what we have to do is, now here we have to use the URI, because we are going to fetch the URI of the image. So for this we can use private let init URI, and for this URI we are going to get that inside our this function, and so we can say URI equal to result dot data dot data. All right, and finally we can just display this URI inside our image view, so we can say image view dot set image URI, and inside that we can pass on the URI here. All right, so that was simple. We are just opening the intent and setting the picture to the image view. All right, so here you guys can see we have this code, and here we can now say pick image launcher dot launch, and inside that we can pass on the intent object here. All right, and after this we have to set the button text, so we can say button dot text equal to pick image. All right, that's it. And then inside that, if the user okay, so now the user is able to pick the image and display the image inside the image view. So now we have to save the image. So how can we do that? So here we can say if the user has picked up the image, so here we can first of all have to remove the image view if the user has already the image. So here we can say set image bitmap, and we have to pass on the null here, and then we can say okay, so now we have to initialize a variable, like we need a bitmap, because we need to convert our URI to bitmap. So for that we can simply say private let init variable bitmap. All right, and after this, inside our pick image bitmap equal to get image bitmap, we have, and then we can simply say value new image URI, the image which we have saved, so we have to fetch the URI of that image. So here we can have another function save picture, and inside that we have to pass on the our bitmap here. Okay, so inside this, let me create both the functions. So first of all we have private function get image bitmap, and in here, as you guys can see, that we need to return the bitmap here. All right, similarly for the save picture, we can say private fun save picture, and in here we are passing our bitmap, and we are have to return the URI. Alright, so now we both have these, we have both functions. So first of all, we have to decode the URI into the bitmap. So for that, let me just write value bitmap. Okay, so for that image the bitmap we don't need. Okay, so here we, okay, so let me change the name of this bitmap to image bitmap. And we have to pass on this. So here inside this we have the bitmap here, and here we can say value source equal to image decoder dot create source, and inside that we have to pass on the content resolver and the URI. So here we can pass on the URI here, and then we can simply say bitmap equal to image decoder dot decode bitmap, and inside that we have to pass on the source here. Alright, so it is having saying we need to call requires API level 28, current minimum is 24, and similarly for this. Okay, so we can just ignore it, and after this what we are going to do is we are going to use return the bitmap here. Okay, so that is was very simple, and here what we are going to do is, or if we don't need this the bitmap, so we can just remove that, and we can simply say return image decoder. So here let me just remove it. Okay, so we only have these two lines. All right, so after that, after we you get the image the bitmap here, so now we can send this image the bitmap to save picture, so that that image is saved into the directory. So now here we have the main function of the save directory. So here first of all we have to use an image URI. So for that we can say value image URI, then we have to check for the Android version queue. So here we can say if build dot version dot stk int is greater than equal to build dot version codes dot queue, and inside that we can say image URI equal to media store dot images dot media dot get content URI, and inside that we can pass on the media store dot volume external primary, and inside our else part if it's the lower version, so here we can simply say image URI equal to media store dot images dot media dot external content URI. Okay, so now we have got this URI. Now we have to put that using the content values. So here we can say value content values equal to content values, and for that we can say content values dot put. Inside that we first of all have to put the display name, then the meme type, and then the relative path. So first of all we have to pass on the display name. So for that we can say media store dot images dot media dot display name, and then the name of the image will be image underscore, and we have to pass on any random number which it needs to generate. So here we can say 500 or 80. All right, then we have to pass on content values dot put, and inside that we can say media store dot images dot media dot meme type, and it will be image underscore jpeg. All right, so now here we also need to check if uh, build dot version dot stk int is greater than equal to build dot version codes dot q. So here we can say content values dot put, and here we can say media store dot images dot media dot relative path, and the relative path will be picture slash new app tutorial. All right, and then we can pass content values dot put media store dot images dot media dot is pending, and it will be 1. All right, and finally we have to insert this content value object. So for that we can simply say image URI equal to content resolver dot insert, and inside there we have to first of all send the image URI. So for that we can pass on the image URI, and the second one is the content values. Now it is saying me an error. Okay, so after that here we are having an issue here. Okay, now after that, after we have got this image URI, and then we can check if image URI is not equal to null, then we have to compress the bitmap and write to it using the output stream. So for that we can say output stream equal to content resolver dot open output stream, and inside there we can pass on the image URI, and we can check if output stream is not equal to null, and then we can say bitmap dot compress, and inside there we can pass on the bitmap dot compress the format dot jpeg, then 100, and the output stream, and finally we need to close the output stream. So we can say output stream dot close. All right, so that was our code, but also we have to add the is pending again, and we have to update the content resolver. So here we can check if build.version.stk_int is greater than equal to build.versionCodes.q, and then we can say content values dot clear, and we have to use content values dot put media store dot images dot media dot is pending, and we have to put it to 0, put the back status back to 0, as we already put the back the status of it, like let me show you, here is pending, and now we have to set it to 0, and then we can simply say content values, sorry, content resolver dot update, and what we have to update, the first of all the image URI and the content values, and then we can pass on the null here. All right, and finally we can just return image URI. So that is it. Now I think our code is now complete, so let me just run the app and let's see if it works. Okay, so now I will open the image, and let me open a basic image. So here I am having this image, and if okay, so the status of it has not changed. So here, as we have set it to pick image, then after the user picks the image, and here we can say save image. Okay, so if we have open image, else if save image. Okay, so now our code is complete. Okay, open image. Okay, so now our code is complete, so I will check that again. So if I will click on open image, and if I click select an image, and here if I click on save image, so now the image has been saved. So let me go to my phone directory. So here you guys can see new app tutorial, and here I have this image saved. Alright guys, so I hope that you have liked this video. So guys, if you like the video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you. And